Okay, carrying on with the NTs. If you want to be sure to come across a whole lot of NTs, you want to be in a room where you're guaranteed pretty much to be surrounded by NTs. Join some sort of libertarian political organization because, based on my experience, lifetime-wise, 98% of the people who are who are strong libertarians are NTs. All four of them, members of all four, overwhelmingly. If you want to go to a place where there will be no INFPs virtually or NFPs, go to a libertarian organization. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. There was one, hello there, I don't know if you'll be watching this, but there's an INTP libertarian viewer of mine who was talking, we were having a chat in comments under one of the videos a while ago, and and he put me on to a terrific, I can't remember what it was now, how to find it, but there was a speech by some libertarian who was really affable and smart and entertaining, and he was exploring some philosophical ideas. And he was saying flat out, he's like, well, I have less I have less compassion than a lot of other people. And again, I think part of the reason he would be so just like, yup, that's the way it is about it, and not embarrassed or ashamed, is because if you're highly rational, and what you respect the most as criteria for things is the stuff that's associated with the thinking preference within the MBTI. So that would be very highly logical concerns. One rule fits all. Trying to find out axioms and principles that have absolutely no sort of bendiness or emotional input whatsoever. If those are the criteria that you hold the dearest and that you feel things should be run by, then yeah, a political affiliation that does not allow for exceptions to those rules, and that is run on a very strictly rationalist basis. We only do things about which we can absolutely know, what the outcomes will be and what is involved. That kind of thing, deterministic things. Of course, that's going to attract people of the thinking preference like mad. So, all right. What else? I wanted to say, so I've covered all four of the quads in sort of a very general sort of way. Just to recap, so when you're looking for SJs, look for, this is really obnoxiously simplistic, okay? It's super reductive, but I just think it could be still a little bit useful. Please see disclaimer in part two, the beginning. SJs, they're going to be where people are, again, upholding mainstream values that are of an irreproachable nature, again, according to the mainstream. So they're respectable things. So any sort of orgs that are doing things that uphold society's traditions, and again, fit with the name Kiersey put to them, that quad of types of guardian. They're guarding. They are conservators. They are trying to either keep things the same or return things to a way they once were that is presumed to be better. That is a very strong appeal to SJs. Doing things the way we've always done them, which is, of course, that is the right way. Things that have worked in the past are the things that should work in the future, so therefore they're what we should be doing now as well. That's a very common sort of SJ general perspective on things and how to make decisions and how to prioritize. So, SJs, there are going to be a hell of a lot of them in, again, at executive levels, and also anywhere where a great deal of organizing and coming to closure of concrete data or things comes into play. That's where you're going to find a lot of SJs. Anywhere, any sort of conservatively oriented endeavor, you're going to find a lot of SJs in there. And anything else to add on that? Where you'll find a lot of S's, period, here's a sort of a work domain, the military or paramilitary organizations, policing organizations. You will find, not that there aren't any N's in there or there aren't any F's in there, yes there are, but the vast majority will be censors. I'll tell you a little anecdote about that. I have a cousin who's an ENTP, and she went to military college and then went on to eventually have a career in NATO. And so she's worked for various different organizations that are of a paramilitary or military thrust. It's a terrible word for it. those are the kinds of orgs they are. And when she was in military college, there was the Myers-Briggs temperament indicator administered to her class. I think she did her MBA through a military college. And in that MBA, they were given at one point the MBTI. And at the end of the class, I guess maybe whatever class it was, that last class they were going to be talking about the MBTI and what the types meant and the scores meant, blah, blah, blah. My cousin and about 3 other people in this class of 30 were taken aside, and the teacher said, "You guys stay after class, stay after class, please." And so what happened was it turned out that the teacher there was an NT. He was of the intuitive information gathering preference, and he said to those 4, "I just wanted to say to you that if you plan on having a career in the military, what I want you to know is that your information gathering preference, your perspective on what's important, your bent for conceptual thinking is not very valued in very many places within the military. You are definitely going to be in the minority for the rest of your lives if you do this." And he just wanted to make them aware. So there you go. And it does make a lot of sense when you think of it. So where the SJs, but also where there will be some probably more NTJs in the military, you're going to find them, as they go through their careers. Everybody starts at the bottom, of course, of the hierarchy, of the ladder. You're going to find all sorts in there. But the higher you go up in the executive level, the more you're going to be seeing TJs there within military and police organizations. And where you're going to see SPs, predictably, within the military is you'll see them anywhere, but you'll definitely see a preponderance wherever there can be action. And that's the thing to remember. If you want to find other artisans, so-called artisans, SPs, go where the action is, where there's going to be adrenaline pumping for some reason or another. That's SPs like that. They like flexibility, they like freedom, they like lack of supervision, they like independence, they like and they like to have a lot of excitement, palpable excitement in what they're doing. Not intellectual excitement necessarily, but definitely they're going to want, movement. Maybe it's some danger. So then let's see. Now I'm going to get into some more. Oh, I was doing a recap. All right. And then for the NFs, again, arts, counseling, teaching. You're going to find NFs like crazy all over the place. You'll find them everywhere, of course. But NFs are going to show there because that's where they can exercise. They can kind of find an expression for their idealistic tendencies, their penchant for conceptual thinking, and for, a sort of willingness to do trailblazing kind of stuff on the intellectual level, coming into contact with novel ideas and creation of novel concepts. And also where it's in the corporate world or elsewhere, wherever they can sort of help people, but in a more human development kind of way, a more esoteric way rather than a hands-on way. Although they will show up in quite great numbers where there's helping being done in a hands-on way. But they will be particularly drawn to ones where there's that kind of abstract thinking component to the helping. And Ts, again, anywhere where a great deal of logic is required to do the job. A facility with that, and for the, sort of paying attention to what can be determined and or what can be very high theoretical but in a logical way. That's where you'll find them. Now, next part I'm going to go into just all kinds of little detailed bits and all kinds of bits and pieces to get more specific and more micro about particular venues where I've noticed you can find people of particular types.